It's 9:01 right now. I'm not sure if you can see, and there's something that I have been doing for the past year, and that is to go off the grid between 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. So the 9 to 9 rule. Basically what happened is that I do not receive any sort of notifications after 9 p.m. and until 9 a.m. So I've set my settings to not receive all notifications, all social media. The whole 9 to 9 rule is frustrating to some of my friends because they know that when they text me after 9, there's a very high chance that I don't reply or I don't read their messages, even if it's something important. And there's also one of the big reasons why I'm pretty slow in getting back to messages outside of this time. Why I do that, because I realized that if I would continue to allow messages and notifications to come into my life, to flood my phone after this time, I usually get a very bad sleep. I get anxious over undone work. I cannot really have a deep sleep. So making sure that I remove myself from the digital world before bed is very critical for me to have a good sleep. Now in the morning, what I found is that when we wake up and the first thing we do is to get on our phone, scroll through, social media, read through our message and email, what we get is that whole influx of negative news, like how many COVID cases and all that kind of things that we are starting to absorb as soon as we wake up. That's a very bad way to start our day. So I make sure not to absorb any of this information until 9 a.m. when I am ready. I've warmed up, I've gone through my exercise, I have done my daily routines, have my breakfast, tidy my room, and then when I'm ready, I kind of switch it on and I'm more prepared mentally to take in those information. So I've been doing this 9 to 9 routine for a long time right now. Of course, there are days where I still use social media, but for most of the time I really am very consistent in making sure that I put my phones away, focus on doing things like reading, listening to some classical music, and plan for the next day, write my journal, and just really had a good night's sleep. So obviously it's already past 9. I still have to edit the video, I still have to kind of put it up on my YouTube channel, but this is something that works for me, and maybe you can try it if you have an iPhone and Android. I'm sure there are some settings where you can play around with it, or at most just kind of like switch it on to airplane mode, and hopefully you get a good night's sleep starting today. Try it, it works for me. Hopefully it works for you. Have a good night. Cheers.